You wanna warm up?
Yeah.
Tia, what'd you clock your forehand at?
He didn't do my forehand.
Backhand?
I think I got like a 70.
70?
I don't know.
Tia supporting me and me supporting her has been something that we've always done. I take that very seriously. I want to be the best role model I can for her by working hard and just being the best tennis player and brother I could be. I mean, when I watch her play tennis, that's the most nervous I ever get. I want her to win every point. And she's kind of the same way. She's my biggest fan when I'm playing, and she wants me to always win and always have success on the court. And it's just super cool having someone I could rely on all the time.
Forehand's looking good, Tia.
Yeah, feels better.
You're not missing.
Not for me. My parents were born and brought up in India, specifically a city called Jamshedpur. Family was like a very important thing for them, even in India, so they kind of brought that into our culture here. My parents were very involved. They loved watching both of us play all the time.
My dad kind of got me and my sister into tennis when we were pretty young. I was probably about 4 and she was like 2, and we just went to the park next to our house, and we just played with our dad and just hitting and having fun, and I kind of picked it up pretty quickly.
Tennis was one of the reasons we even got closer. I mean, one of the objectives of getting them into tennis was to have quality time together.
It was all started off on the fun side, the recreation side of it. You know, they were too young for us to even think at that time that they would, develop the talent or they would have the interest.
When I was younger, the only person I really trained with was Tia. And I feel like we both helped our game so much because Tia was also picked up tennis super quickly and was really good for her age. We would just practice probably 5 times a week together.
He was always like a primary coach almost for me. Like even when I had actual coaches, I would honestly mainly go to him for advice because he knew exactly what I was going through. He had just done it.
Josh definitely had a kind of a mentor coaching type attitude towards her, but they have a very complimenting attitude. So Josh was known for his forehand, and Tia had a backhand that Josh would say, that's money. If I had a backhand like Tia, my opponents would have nowhere to go.
Her backhand is lethal. It's something I wish I had. Even now, her backhand is so good. Her backhand down the line, it's definitely a lethal shot.
I just always remember Josh was always on the court next to me. We'd always practice together. I just always remember him supporting me and being there for me.
It was just super cool that I had someone I could compete with, and Tia was just the perfect person for that. We both made ourselves better. When we both won the Midwest Close, that was one of the coolest moments I've had with her for sure. The Midwest Close was probably the biggest tournament for us in the Midwest. It's the hardest tournament for sure.
Leading up to it, both of us, we weren't really expected to win, so we didn't go in with the highest of expectations. We were both in the finals, so after playing that finals match, the first thing I did after that was I went to my mom and I was like, how did Josh do? And when she said he won, it was just such a good feeling because I was super proud of him and I was super proud of myself. So it was just a great feeling overall.
It's a week-long tournament. Every match was tough. There was a lot of hard work from their perspective. They used to play a lot of tournaments. They would practice long hours on court, off court. I felt all their hard work paid off.
It was like a surreal moment almost. Tia had some tough competition, had some tough matches, and she gritted it out. And I did as well, so it's just super cool that we both got through it and we both won the tournament in the same year.
It did instigate a lot of belief that yes, that they can do it. And of course, we are going to play college tennis. This gave them a boost of belief in themselves and in their game, which did go a long way.
My tennis game has developed immensely since I've been here. My serve has gotten better. I'm hitting my forehand much bigger. My backhand's improving a ton. End of my freshman year, I was developing some knee pain, and it kept getting worse and worse as the season went on, but I didn't think too much of it. I was like, I'm just gonna get through it and it'll be okay.
Josh had a super good freshman year. He was playing some of his best tennis, and then even towards the end of that, I could see he was starting to struggle a little bit on court, and he didn't want to stop because he was playing so well. So I understood that, but at the same time, I was kind of trying to tell him you should take it a little slow, you don't want to make it worse.
When the season ended, it just wasn't getting better and it was hurting all the time. So I ended up getting knee surgery that summer. They only said I'd be out 6 months because they didn't know how bad it was till they got inside. So then after I woke up, they told me it's gonna be more like a year and a half. That was pretty devastating for me because that's such a long time, and I felt kind of disheartened at that moment. I missed all of my sophomore season and I missed my junior season most of the fall. I just didn't know what I could do. I mean, I felt so helpless. I was like, is my knee ever gonna feel good? I wasn't super emotional. I didn't really tell too many people how I was feeling, so I kind of kept it inside.
It was pretty tough to see him going through that because he had such a good year and he was hoping to go into his sophomore year even stronger. It was difficult to see him not being able to do what he loves, but I mean, I tried to help him as much as I could.
He just wanted to get back on the court, right? And Tia is the one who actually started him off. She would go and hit with him in the summer so that he could feel, how good he is feeling. Being in the same sport, Tia was able to connect with Josh, I think, way more than we did, or even we could have, because some of the frustrations that as a player, what Tia can understand is very different from what we as parents. It was tough.
Tia supported me through that moment super well, I thought. She was one of the few people that I would talk to about it and tell her what's going on in my mind. And she kept reminding me that I was a great tennis player. I had a great freshman season. When your knee heals up, you're gonna be just as good, if not better. When I was hurt and I couldn't move, she would still kind of rally with me and made me feel good again just being back on the court and hitting tennis balls. So I'm super grateful that she was there for me in that moment. It was for sure a tough period for me, but I definitely think I came out of it stronger at the end.
Where are you guys going this weekend?
Purdue in Indiana. What about you guys?
Ohio and Penn.
Ohio State good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Michigan State has definitely added a lot to our relationship. We can, relate even more than we could before. We're both traveling a lot. We're both always have practices, always have workouts, things like that. So it's just more things we can talk to each other about and help each other out on.
Michigan State was always the school in my mind. I know I wanted to stay in state, and I've always loved MSU. I was a big fan, and just having her here at the same time, even though I don't see her as much as I did when I was back home, just knowing that she's here and that my best friend is here, it was awesome.
Tia was decided on the September of her junior year that she was going to go to Michigan State, partially because of the visits that we had and partially because of Josh. Him talking to her about the college, the facilities, the programs, the beauty of it and everything.
I feel super lucky to have Josh here through my journey. Even back home, we were always playing next to each other, so the fact that we can still continue to do the same here pretty much is a really nice feeling. It's just he's been through all of the things that I've been through, so even our major, we're both in supply chain management, so any concern or any question that I have, I just always know I can turn to him.
It's a huge blessing to be able to accomplish what they have, and tennis is one thing, but it gives you so much more to your character and personality. Everything kind of like a chess game fell in place for both of them. Coaches keep saying that we are a Michigan State family, so we now we cannot go and watch those matches, but when we are there, we feel blessed.
It's so cool just to have someone who's taking the same path as me and who I can mentor and help on the way from what I learned. I want the best for her. I want her to do better than I did. I want her to be a better tennis player than I was. Have her hang some banners here. I can learn from all my experiences and help her. I think it's super special that we're on a similar path.
I don't know if it was one of my first mini-mite game or one of my first. My family friend neighbors were sitting right next to my mom, and I guess my mom was like, yeah, I don't want Tommy to play hockey. Like, I don't think I can go through another hockey player. And then during that game, I ended up scoring 3 goals in one shift. And then my neighbor just looks over at my mom and says, yeah, he's not going to be a hockey player, huh? So that's kind of funny and ironic that happened. And it's kind of just a sign from God that I'm where I need to be. I'm the youngest of 4. I have 2 older sisters and an older brother. I was kind of just dragged along with all the activities that they're doing. And I felt like I was always the little annoying brother that, just got to hang out with all the older siblings no matter what they're doing. I just did whatever my siblings did and whatever my brother would do.
He got his fair share of looks trying to hang out with the older kids too, but he always kept coming back. He was a pretty quiet kid, but determined to kind of keep up with the older kids as well. There's a 10-year difference between Tommy and I, and then Meryl and Bo are in between. So my parents were kind of strapped, bringing me to the rink. Bo, Meryl, and Tommy would kind of be tagging along. I'm going to be embarrassing him, but I remember when I was 12, 13 years old, he'd be eating gum off the hockey rink and candy off the floor. A couple times he got left at the rink because mom and dad were kind of driving all over, and it's like, oh crap, where's Tommy? And he's just running around the rink. But so he was just right away. I think even his first couple days of birth, he was at the rink at one of my games. So he's been integrated in it right away.
It's just a family love for the game, and it's growing up, and even now my whole family kind of revolves around hockey, and it's family road trips. That was our vacations. It wasn't the best of vacations. We weren't going to Florida all the time, but we were either going to Canada, Chicago, Pittsburgh, places like these. So it was kind of just like what our family did, and I just learned to love it through my siblings and being around it all the time. I looked up to my oldest sister, Margot, the most. She played at Honey Baked whenever I was, growing up. And then when I was 8 or 9, she left home to go play for Shattuck St. Mary's. And then she played there for 2 years. She did an extra year of high school, and then she ended up playing at North Dakota. I think she's my biggest influence because I obviously spent a lot of time watching her, and she laid out a path that I could follow, playing college hockey and getting an education, which is like an important thing to us and our family. How she carries herself and how she goes about life. I can go to her with any hard questions or anything I'm wondering about, something that I can follow, how she drives herself and how she carries herself, and that's something that I want to strive to be.
It's pretty special. It's pretty cool, especially being a female. So I think that's pretty cool. We've always had a special relationship, and he's always been a huge women's hockey advocate, which I appreciate. He's the first one, I think, when the women's USA team came and played at Joe Louis, maybe, or Little Caesars, I can't remember, a couple of years ago. He had all of his buddies going and supporting it. So it's pretty cool to see, because normally it's the other way around, big brother, little sister takes up the game. So it's pretty cool to have a reverse role.
On my second year with Victory Honda, I was selected for the U.S. National Team Development Program. They have this camp that they select from like 40 to 50 players. I ended up did not make the team from that. But then that whole year, that was my junior year of high school while I was playing on Honda, I was practicing with them twice a week, and then I'd play any games with them that I wasn't playing with Victory Honda over the weekend. So I played probably I think 25 to maybe 30 games with them over the course of the year. My junior year in high school, they offered me a spot on the team for my senior year, and that's who I played for my senior year.
Huge honor to play for the development team for 2 years. Everyone knows in hockey that's the cream of the crop, and that's where the best, 40 USA born kids are going to be playing. So that's something special. I never got to play for my country and wear that uniform, so I was very proud of him. I mean, that's one of his highest honors, I think, in his career. That's pretty cool.
It was a huge privilege to be there, you know, with some of the top players in the nation at that time and at that age. We ended up winning the world championship, which was amazing. The bonds that you make with the guys on the team when you win a championship like that and just go through that whole 2-year program is unbelievable. I've always kind of wanted to come here. I've always rooted for Michigan State. My parents have always rooted for Michigan State. We've always kind of been a Spartan family. I was interested in engineering, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do still. I remember going through the packaging school and like super interested, and I like didn't even know it was a thing before I came on that visit, so I was just soaking everything in at that time. And went through, finished the visit, and I remember on my drive home, I was like just thinking, and I like looked over at my dad, I was like, packaging is like what I want to do. Like it's what I'm interested in, and that's really cool. After that, I just decided that that's what I wanted to do, so I came here.
I gave him some advice. I know we had some family influences too, and for me, it was a little bit different. There was no women's hockey teams in Michigan for me to pick from, so I know my family really struggled with me going away further away, so they kind of pressed Tommy to stay within the state, and I just said, pick a school that you're going to have the best support around you, the resources, and I mean, but Big Ten has great resources, but I just said pick somewhere that, you know, they're going to appreciate you and you're going to be integrated well into the team. I pushed for North Dakota, but obviously that didn't work out, but hey, I'm a huge Spartan fan now, so I just told them pick where you're going to do well in hockey, but also set yourself up for your future as well, because we can't all play hockey the rest of our lives.
I was voted a team captain this year. It's huge. I think the most important thing about that is that it's voted by the team, and it's a huge honor that the guys that you spend most of your time with in the last 3 years think of you like that, and they believe in you and look to you as that person. Over the past couple of years that I've been playing here, I think I just found ways that worked for me to lead in ways that I think I can lead. You know, it's not always being the most vocal guy, but it's you know, being good in practice, or you know, when guys are down, you know, ask them, hey, you're good, like stuff like that. It's, you know, it's being there.
My parents are really gonna struggle when he graduates, because who knows what they're gonna do, but it's awesome for our family. And with COVID, it's a tough year, but we've been watching a lot of the games online and whatnot. But yeah, it'll be definitely a culture shock for the family next year.
Circle cross ice pass to the back door, shot, goal for Michigan State. Tommy Miller, the defenseman, scored.
Getting an education through college hockey has been one of my big goals as well. That has definitely, I think, overshot my expectations with the play and the atmospheres and where we've been and what I've learned the last 3.5 years. Put a lot of work here. It's very important to me, and I think the teammates that I played with here are very important to me, and I've created great bonds with all of them, and that's something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life.
Crossing over, gets to the elbow, spins into the lane, going to the cup on the right block, lays it up, that's good, the foul. A big shout by Nia Clouden after she gets that tough bucket to fall. That's a good start. Clouden takes it to her left, pulls up with a top side 2. Yep. Nia Clouden starting to roll. She's got 10 lead changes in this game. Most of those in this quarter. Pretty much every bucket has been a lead change. 7 seconds to shoot. Clouden left around a screen 3. Here's a 3-ball. Got it! Nia Clouden for 3! Comes back left around a screen, pulls up the elbow, and buries the jumper again. Nia Clouden, are you kidding me? 25 points. Give it over to Pat Berg, and she has it knocked away by Mardrika Cook. Battle for the loose ball. Cook takes it away. Spartans have the basketball. Mardrika Cook, the dagger defensive play. And Nia Clouden with one of the great performances all time in the Big Ten by a Spartan. brings Michigan State back to win it, 69-61. It's a victory for MSU, and they're on to the semifinals thanks to the performance by Nia Clouden. What a win by Michigan State.